Hello. Hi, my name is Austin Bowman, and this is my persuasive speech. The topic of discussion is the coronavirus. The general purpose is to help you understand what's all behind this thing. Have you ever wondered why the coronavirus has such an impact on the world today? Think about it. Out of all the diseases and scary stuff out there, and all the flus and, malaria, H1N1, out of all those diseases, the coronavirus is the one to shut down the whole world. And sources say that it's only a seasonal flu, which is quite odd because there's seasonal flus every year, but this particular one is the one to cause a massive just disruption in space and time. That's really an eye-opener for me because you think about the times that we're in and things are just all over the place. We're in the presidential election coming up in November. The economy is in a recession. And quite frankly, this is the second time that we've been on lockdown since this whole pandemic thing broke out. And things are just seeming like they're getting worse. Numbers and cases are rising. There's been rumors that there's been inflation of the numbers, but we'll get to that soon. So, starting off, should masks be mandatory? Let's take a look. The CDC on their website mentioned that cloth masks should be worn by citizens, like regular citizens, and the medical mask should be worn by people who are doctors and working on patients. But on the CDC website, it says that cloth masks are not recommended for virus protection. That's the thing. Why are we wearing masks if they're not giving us protection that we need? And that brings me to another point. We have germs and stuff all over our hands. Everywhere we touch, we pass germs, we spread germs. When you put on your mask, you are spreading germs all over your face when you take it on. We put it on and take it off. On the CDC website, they gave pretty much a description of what's recommended when you're putting on your mask. And they want you to sanitize your hands before you touch your face. They want you to make sure you touch the outside of the mask, not the actual part that go on your face. Only the parts that go on your ears. And the same way when you take it off. But I saw a video on YouTube and a lady showed a representation of how germs are spread through contact, and she had a black light on her mask and she took it on and off, and you saw just all types of germs under the black light based upon the fact of her just doing her normal daily activities, when touching the phone or opening the door or pumping gas, those type of things. And it's really dangerous, to really think about how easily those germs are spread, and especially through those masks that so easily can, get in your mouth or through your nose, the easiest access points where a virus can enter. So, should the mask be mandatory? The Mayo Foundation for Medical Education and Research also stated on their website that a natural immunity is better than a vaccine immunity. So if your body naturally contracts the disease and fight it off, your body has a better chance of becoming way stronger than just sticking a vaccine inside of your body. And that makes you question, are the vaccines really necessary? The third thing I'd like to bring up are the case numbers. The CDC and also CNN have been reporting that the case numbers have been skyrocketing for the last 2 months. Isn't that kind of odd how the cases are rising, but if you really take a close look, you see the death rate falling? How does that make any sense that they're using fear and they pushing out the case numbers, but they're not really telling you about the deaths or telling you that the death rate has gone down significantly? That's really something to really look at on, pay attention to the numbers, and they'll really tell you the truth in this matter. And if you really do the calculations and add up the numbers today and the death rate, you'll see that the number is really low compared to what the CDC projected back in February, March, and during this whole pandemic. In conclusion, yes, I do believe that the coronavirus is real, but I don't believe that it's all that it's hyped up to be. And it's funny because if you really do your research, like I said, the cloth masks, they don't do anything to protect from the virus, and it's not recommended. And the CDC stated that on their website. You can check it out. This thing disrupted the whole entire population globally. Also, I believe that there's something deeper than just a simple pandemic that they're claiming for it to be. I believe that this is a new way of implementing a form of living. It's a new way of government and governing the people. I believe that it's a new way of spreading fear so that people can just rely and look on the government for help. I believe that different hands are tied into this, especially based upon the fact that it was reported that on CNN that this whole thing was started in a lab in Wuhan, China. At first they said it started in a marketplace, but there was a lab right next to the marketplace, 800 feet from the place, which is kind of odd and funny. So it's a lot of fingers pointing in every direction. But the main thing is that I know for sure that God has his hands in this, and that he's allowing this to happen so that change could come and that the Bible prophecies can be fulfilled. And they're being fulfilled as we speak. And this whole thing reminds me of the prophecy that Jesus spoke in Matthew 24, that there will be famines and pestilences and wars, the rumors of wars during the end times. So in conclusion,